Hey everyone, how's it going? It's that nerd Ryan here, and today we're going to be talking about the September 2023 Star Wars comics. So, this is going to be basically covering these 7 comics. There's 1 Dark Horse comic and 6 Marvel. We're in the meat of Dark Droids right now. I think actually every issue, except for the Dark Horse one, which is true, is a tie-in to Dark Droids. So let's start with Dark Droids number 2. I'm using the notes on my phone. So the virus has infected millions of droids in all forms, but wants to move to meat, as in move to humans. It is trying to infect humans by experimenting on stormtroopers, but they keep dying. The virus can only take on 1 droid at a time as it floats between them. The droid colony is ready to fight against the virus. Infected 3PO takes out R2 instead of infecting him for some reason. I didn't get why they didn't do that. And he ends up ejecting him. 3PO then goes to ask Luke about the Force and for further knowledge. It comes to the conclusion that cyborgs can use the Force and begins to plan operations. Obviously, you can see where this is going. Luke gains suspicions, and the virus thinks on killing him, but the droid colony builds a giant tank for the droid to take over in fighting the infection. The infected droids attack the rebel fleet as a distraction so 3PO can leave. It decides to go to Vader to possess his body, which is obvious. I gave this an 8 out of 10. Also, it's mentioned that the Sith locked away this virus. It's weird to me that the Sith have been doing really good things in canon, like ancient Sith. Like, they locked away the Drengir, they locked away the virus. Who's the real bad guys here? So next is Star Wars number 38, which is right here. The old droid is about to be dismantled, but EV-99 gets infected. The old droid fights off the infection and tries to escape the mob. Meanwhile, Lando is in his dressing room reminiscing with Lobot. Lando puts on his iconic disguise of the Skiff Guard. The door droid is infected and wouldn't let them in until Lando reveals the implants on Lobot. Lando learns of the infection and heads to the throne room, where we see Boba Fett fighting off droids. Lando sees Han and is thrown into the Rancor den. It's asleep, but the old droid is down there as well. Lobot is slightly repaired, but the Rancor wakes up. The droid finds them as the Rancor, or the droids find them as the Rancor prepares to attack. I gave that a 7 out of 10. Next is Darth Vader, number 38, which I have a feeling this is going to be the highlight of the Dark Droid sagas, the Darth Vader comics. So Vader is fighting off the hack droids with his special weapons. Star Destroyers arrive to destroy the Executor. The Admiral of the fleet delays the order because Piet had history of him where Piet delayed the order for 3 minutes and saved his life. He sends reinforcements with KX droids who immediately get corrupted. Vader's droids launch an EMP that shut down all droids on the ships. The droids infect the other Star Destroyer with Piet automatically destroying it. Vader returns to Mustafar to meet with the Eye of Webbish Bog. The Eye tells him the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise. Darth Plagueis the Wise was a Sith Lord that became so powerful that he could stop the ones he cared about from dying. And he trained his apprentice in everything he knew, and his apprentice killed him in his sleep. Which is ironic, because he could save others from death, but not himself. Zed got infected and ended up infecting an old Techno Union facility on Mustafar. And Vader decides to head to Palpatine. I gave this a 8 out of 10. Next is Bounty Hunters number 38, which is right here. So flashback to when the Separatists met with Haven. Grievous offers protection but is turned down and begins fighting back. Now while the crew waits in the greeting droid is being manipulated by the creator of Killsong. Zuckuss and 4-LOM are being stalked by the infected droids. They fight off some of the infected and get away for a bit. Zuckuss ends up sending 4-LOM off to protect him and prepares to fight the infected, but they don't really care, so they walk away. Flashback to Grievous slaughtering droids. He flees after the droids don't stop coming. Killsong has taken over Valance in current day, and he just straight up kills Katak, who was the Changeling. I gave that one a 6 out of 10. Next is the new series that is a Dark Droids tie-in, which is D-Squad. If you guys remember, D-Squad was from the Clone Wars. They're kind of getting a reunion here. R2 is stuck in space, but he uses his ingenuity and gadgets to get back on board, where he runs into Whack 47 from Clone Wars. He's the original leader of D-Squad. R2 leads them to Iago to brief Whack on what's going on. They run into Chopper on the planet. Chopper is out hunting 000, and R2 decides to go after him after they argue for a while. R2 hijacks a transport and heads to Galeos alone, where he finds 000. I gave it a 9 out of 10. We also get a little side story about Ajax's origins. So we learn about Ajax Sigma, who is like the messiah of the free droids. That one I didn't really rank or anything because it wasn't that important. But I gave D-Squad a 9 out of 10. Next we have Hyperspace Stories number 9, which is Quaylen Vos versus Cad Bane. It starts off on the Bavana system where a Separatist trader is about to be captured, but is rescued by Quaylen Vos. Cad Bane shows up for the informant, and they have a little standoff, kind of similar to like Boba Fett and Bad Batch. Cad almost grabs him, but Quaylen uses his weapons against him. They run into more bounty hunters. The informant stole from Dooku and hid it with the intel. That's actually why everybody's chasing after him. Quaylen mates the treasure to melts the treasure to distract the criminals, but Bane sees through this. He plays Cad and they get away, and Quaylen finds this bear that we've been seeing recently. He uses psychometry to check it out, and we get to see some stuff that we have seen and some stuff we haven't seen yet. So I gave that an 8 out of 10. And lastly, we have Dr. Aphra number 36. So it starts with Leia learning about the droids turning. Aphra and Lucky are getting ambushed by infected droids. Leia sends Magna and her squad to investigate the ship that they got a distress call's disappearance. Aphra meets up with the double cross that was from the last issue, and they work together to try to get out of the situation, but the droids end up killing the double cross, and Lucky even kind of double crosses Aphra in this. The droids stuck for Aphra and Lucky after that one's dead, and after they corner them, they end up powering down because they didn't have enough powers in their backup power cell. And it ends with Magna finding the ship in question, and it ends it on a cliffhanger. They also meet up with Dominia Tag. So I give that one a 7 out of 10. So honestly, my comic of the month this month is definitely D-Squad. That was really fun and funny. It was great to see Chopper and R2 interact, especially with Ahsoka going on right now. Which reminds me, next week we'll have Ahsoka's review. I'm excited for that, so make sure you guys jump in and watch that next week. Thank you guys for watching. It's That Nerd Ryan.